6 o'clock. At this time, I'll call the regular meeting of the Perry City Council for December the 15th, 2020 to order. We have a quorum. At this time, if you will join us by standing, and as Mayor President King gives us the invitation, the pledge of allegiance is read by Councilmember Hunt.
Led by, yes, please. Father God, we're so grateful to your love and your mercy toward us. I pray now, Father, you continue to give us wisdom and knowledge during this pandemic, that each one of us will be aware of our surroundings, and that we'll take advice, Lord, and keep our masks on, Lord, and also encourage our family members. Everywhere we go, Father, I pray you for the city, and we continue to handle the events of the city with great respect. And I do thank you, we do praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 4 on our agenda this evening is recognitions and presentations. 4A is a proposal for the 2021 special events calendar. Ms. Turpin.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I apologize. I didn't realize we were supposed to go through the slides earlier. So my presentation tonight is the 2021 proposal for our special events. As I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to change the calendar up slightly just because of the situation that we're with COVID, to try to backload some of our bigger events towards the end of next year, and start out with things that we feel might be a little bit more safe, more socially distanced. So to get started, maybe, there we go. I did give you all an overview of the 2021 calendar. If we look through it, the new events that are being proposed for 2021 are the City of Perry's Open Air Health Fair, the National Trails Day, and the Treats on the Trail. And I'll go through each one of those 3 events in more detail. I also have on here events that we intended to launch in 2020. So there were some events that were supposed to be new this year. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they did not take place, or they took place in a modified manner. And those events were the Dogwood Derby, the Art in the Park event, and the Perry International Festival. So the Dogwood Derby, obviously that was supposed to be kind of a take 2 of the Soapbox Derby that we hosted in 2019. The main modification to that event being that we wanted to tie it on to the Dogwood event, to give it a formal name and somewhat modify it the way that Macon has their Magnolia race. The Art in the Park event, we did still have a modified version of that with our colorful community that we hosted in September. But of course, you know, in 2021, we're hoping to have a full-scale version of what we were hoping for that. The Perry International Festival, I'm sure you all are very familiar with that one. We got very, very close to actually hosting it. So you did see kind of the booklet and what the idea was for that. The main takeaway for me is that in 2021, the one upside, if I can take away anything positive from it being canceled this year, is that I would like to extend it. The event was only supposed to go until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, but I did learn through my research with a lot of different nationalities, communities, that they do a lot of fire and light rituals or performances. So I would like to extend it this year and actually include kind of an after dark performance session. The modified events would be Workout in the Park. As you know, in 2019 and even this year, we did host the Yoga in the Park series, which is incredibly well received by our community. But actually, just a couple of months ago, we tested out the workouts in the park where we did more than just yoga. We also brought in Zumba, kickboxing, Tai Chi, different exercises, and we did find that this brought a more diverse community to come and participate. So we do think that people in Perry are looking for more than just yoga. So the main changes to that in 2021 would be adding in a variety of workouts. Continuing events in 2021 that you all are already familiar with would be our Food Truck Friday series, the Perry Presents series, the Perry Music Festival, the Oktoberfest, and the Perry Buzzer Drop. All of these events would still take place with minor changes. For example, the Perry Music Festival may have a location change. The Perry Presents series might have a theme change, but for the most part, they're going to take place the way that our community has come to know and love them and get familiar with. Any questions before I move on?
Questions?
Yes.
Have we dropped the buzzer drop and come up with something better?
I'm sorry?
You said, can we drop the buzzer drop and come up with something better for New Year's Eve?
We can definitely look into it. Is there a specific concern about the buzzer drop, or?
I just don't think it's below our city to have a buzzer drop.
Okay,
We're better than that.
okay, we can look into it.
I
So,
may be the Lone Ranger.
okay. So the first new event that I would like to propose for 2021, and again, this is keeping in mind and not knowing what our spring will look like with COVID, is an open air health fair at Heritage Park. I think that having outdoor events obviously right now is preferred, and hopefully in the spring, you know, everybody will be in that mindset of trying to new year, new me, taking care of their health, whatever that means to them. It means a different thing to every person. But I also think that this is an opportunity for us to work with vendors that maybe we don't normally get an opportunity to work with. In the short time that I've worked for the city, I have had a lot of chiropractors or doctor's offices, dentists reach out and say, you know, well, we're interested in working with you, but whenever I show them our sponsorship packets, they're not really necessarily willing to take that leap and sponsor a Food Truck Friday or something of that scale. So I have hosted health fairs in the past, and the great thing about this is that typically we're able to work with vendors on kind of an exchange basis, that in turn for them coming and supporting our event, setting up a booth, which is publicity for them, we're also able to encourage them to give something to the community. So they're giving free screenings, free information, and typically we do require some type of a door prize or something to be donated so that that business is actually buying into the success of the health fair, and it helps us to actually get people there because they know that there's going to be prizes or rewards for them participating. So the vision for this would be that we can have over 30 vendors at Heritage Oaks Park. Make it a good length of time, I would think somewhere between 10 and 2 o'clock, and have it to where people are not all showing up at the same time. People might come, stay for 30 minutes, browse the booths, and then leave. I think that this would be, given the COVID situation, I feel like this would be a safe event that we can have. We can have healthy cooking demonstrations. We can do something very similar to what we did with our workouts in the park, where maybe we have a free class that people can drop in and try. They can meet different fitness facilities, different health professionals from Perry. And we would be very particular about who we're inviting to this. I'm very strongly opposed to having multi-level marketing, those types of things, anything that's a fad or not really of a health conscious thing. We want to be particular about who we are representing here. But I do think it opens up a door to work with some businesses that maybe we haven't worked with before. So that's my proposal for what we would be starting the year off with, and that would be our first event hosted on March 6th. Any questions about this specific proposal before I move on to the next one? Questions or concerns? Okay. National Trails Day. So some people love the Super Bowl. I love National Trails Day. I celebrate this every year as though it is the Super Bowl. National Trails Day is hosted on the first Saturday every June. And what it is a nationwide celebration of all things trails. For some communities, that means an organized bike ride. For some communities, that means an organized trail cleanup. It really can be whatever we want it to be. I've hosted this in previous areas where I've lived, and like I said, it can look anything like bike education, trail building, so you can actually have construction projects where the public comes and participates, learns how to build trails, or just to be a good steward, so you have a public cleanup. We really have a lot of flexibility with what this could look like. The main thing is just that you want to have something in your community that you can put on the National Trails Day register to show that Perry is participating in this. So as of right now, it's a pretty fluid concept. We really can make it what we want it to be. I just wanted to put it on your all's radar that I do definitely think that it's something that Perry should be celebrating, and it's an event that I would love to plan on Perry's behalf. So if you have any personal thoughts or things that you want to see incorporated in that, please let me know. and I will definitely incorporate it whenever we're planning it.
Questions, Scott?
Okay. The last new event for 2021, maybe my slides are out of order, I'm sorry. So the last new event for 2021 would be Treats on the Trail. This is an event that I hosted in my previous position back in Grayson County, Kentucky. We had a lot of success with it. It's similar in concept to the Downtown Merchants Sweets and Treats, except this would give us an opportunity to invite everyone from the community. We also typically hosted it earlier in the month so that it didn't conflict with other events such as the Sweets and Treats. And we found really great response from the community because people often got overwhelmed right at Halloween, but there were so many things going on, they had to pick. So by hosting it earlier in the month, we found that we not only had a lot less conflict, but we also heard directly from families who maybe they're a split family and dad gets the kids this weekend and mom gets the kids that weekend. Well, now, you know, whichever family they're with, maybe one gets Halloween with mom, the other one gets Treats on the Trail with us. So we always got really great positive reviews. But the concept of it is basically you take a trail that can be paved, it can be primitive, and you have vendors set up at different designated points throughout the trail and basically just hand out candy. It's a really great way to show the trail systems that we have here in Perry to get people down there. And just like the first event, the health fair, this is a great opportunity for us to work with businesses that maybe aren't at the level that they can afford $1,000 sponsorship or something like that, but they can afford to go spend a couple $100s on candy and meet all of the kids in our community. So this is something that I'm very familiar with. I love it. I would love to see it take place in Perry. I think it would be a really great way to showcase the trails that we have here and also build awareness for the trails we want to bring. Okay, so moving on, actually I'm gonna have to go backwards for 1 second. So as I was saying earlier, the only modified event that we have for 2021 is the workouts in the park. The Yoga in the Park event series was very successful, but after doing the 8-week trial with different classes, we definitely do feel like people responded to doing more than just yoga. So yoga would definitely still be included. It would still be a big part of the event, but we wanted to make it a broader reach. So this is a couple of photos from the events that we hosted out at Heritage Park. The one thing that I really did love about Heritage Oaks Park is that it offered the ability for people to choose whether they wanted to be on pavement or on the grass. And that's something that we could not have at Rozier Park. So we do really feel like it's a versatile place. People enjoy being able to spread out. We had people all over. It was kind of hard to get everyone in a picture because everyone was so spread out. But I do think it's a perfect environment to keep hosting those events. The instructors love the shade canopy, and I really do think that it's going to be a great facility to keep growing that. So it's not necessarily a new event, it's just kind of modified for 2021. So with that being said, this is the 2021 City of Perry Special Events Calendar. All of the dates on here I cross-referenced with the local school calendar, the fairgrounds calendar, tried to the best of my ability to make sure that there weren't any conflicts that we could avoid, trying to be a team player in that sense. So with your all's approval, I would love to start promoting this. And if there's any events that you did not see on there that you would like to see incorporated, please don't hesitate to tell me. I would love to either find a way to add it to the calendar or incorporate it to an event that's already on there.
No. The only thing would be if for some reason you didn't want to proceed with one or whatever, then you need to let her know. But if you all are satisfied with that, we'll just assume it's accepted and go on.
Council members, do you have concurrence to move forward with the program as presented?
Yes.
Ms. Peterson, I see you shaking your head.
Yes.
You have concurrence to move forward with your plan. We look forward to a very exciting 2021.
Thank you. And just while I'm up here, I wanted to take 1 second to remind you that this weekend is our Rockin' Around Rotary event. So that is a free outdoor event, socially distanced at Rotary Centennial Park. That'll take place Friday through Sunday, weather permitting. It's going to be an assortment of holiday activities that people can enjoy at their own pace, at their own leisure, and hopefully avoid any type of crowds or very COVID-friendly event. And then the following weekend, the weekend following Christmas, we'll be doing our digital drop, so a buzzer drop alternative. So please stay tuned for more information on that. Thank you.
Item 5 is community partner updates. Do we have any community partners here this evening that would like to address council at this time? Item 6 is citizens with input. Is there anyone here that would like to address council at this time? Thank you. Item 7 is a review of the minutes. 7A, council, you've been provided with the minutes for November 17, 2020, the pre-council meeting, the November 17, 2020 council meeting, the December 1st, 2020 pre-council meeting, and the December 1st, 2020 council meeting. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept these minutes as presented.
So moved.
Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show the minutes were approved unanimously. Item 8 is old business, 8A, or ordinances for the second reading and adoption. 8A1 is the second reading of an ordinance to amend the downtown development district overlay boundaries. Mr. Wood?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, this request is to modify the downtown development overlay boundaries. As we've discussed, we are modifying those to be more consistent with the development pattern relative to downtown development situation. So there are areas that are being removed from the district. As you can see, the current district is shown in red. The proposed boundaries are those parcels that are highlighted in blue. There are some areas that are being added that the Downtown Development Authority felt were properties that were more likely to convert over to commercial and more related to a traditional downtown. We've also included, they've included the Andrews Heights residential area, potential residential, downtown residential. Planning Commission and Downtown Development Authority, Planning Commission and staff both recommend approval.
Any questions, council members, relative to this ordinance to amend the downtown development district overlay? Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address council relative to this ordinance? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same. Please let the ordinance show that the ordinance has been approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 8A2 is the second reading of an ordinance to amend section 4-3D, standards for specific use text -179-2020 to require RV parks by special exception and to revise standards for RV parks. Mr. Wood?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this text amendment to the land management ordinance will require RV parks and campgrounds to be a special exception use in the C1 Highway Commercial District. Also, this updates the standards for RV parks to address some of the concerns that have been raised by Council, and also has been modified to address some clarification issues that were brought up at the first reading, and staff and planning commission both recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Council members, do you have any questions relative to this RV park ordinance? Ms. Peterson? Thank you. Is there anyone here this evening who would like to address mayor and council at this time relative to this ordinance? Hearing none. At this time, council, I will entertain a motion to approve the ordinance as presented. Motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Please let the record show the ordinance was approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 8A3 is the second reading of an ordinance for the rezoning RZNE-168-2020 of property from C-2 to C-1. The property is located at Perry Parkway. The tax map number is OP4 180-180-000. Mr. Wood?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, this is a request to rezone the property you see on the screen located on Perry Parkway directly across from the entrance to Yorktown subdivision. The request is for a C1 zoning classification specific to allow the development of a self-service storage facility. The applicant has provided these photos of a similar facility that they just completed in Macon. The main building on that site will have a retail look to it, which we believe would be appropriate on the parkway. The Planning Commission and staff both recommend approval of this request.
Council members, questions relative to this rezoning request? Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address council at this time relative to this ordinance? Yes, sir. If you give us your name and address, I'd appreciate it.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Don Carter, Carter Engineering. My address is 6310 Peak Road in Macon, Georgia, here representing the Ward Development. And happy to answer any questions you may have. We've provided some additional information since the first reading, and hope y'all think the building looks nice. It's a nice development. We're planning a really nice development there, but glad to answer any questions if you have any.
Questions, council members? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor, I think on our overtime.
I heard Mr. Pete, I say, no?
I said no.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address council at this time relative to this ordinance? Hearing none, council at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve this ordinance as recommended by your planning commission.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Please let the record show the ordinance was approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 9 is any other old business. Any other old business from the mayor? I have none. Any other old business from council members? Ms. Bynum Grace?
I have none.
Mr. Jones?
No.
Mr. Hunt? Mayor Pro Tem King?
Sir.
Ms. Peters?
No, sir.
Dr. Albright?
No, sir.
Thank you. Is there any old business from the city manager?
I'm sorry.
Any old business from you?
Just one item I want to point out to council. When you adopted the RV ordinance amendment, that also removes the moratorium. The moratorium is no longer in effect.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Gilmore?
No, sir?
Anything from the assistant city manager, Mr. Smith?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Anything from the city attorney, Ms. Newby?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 10 is new business. 10A are matters referred from our December the 14th, 2020 work session or the December the 15th, 2023 council meeting. Council members, we had one item referred from last night's pre-council session. That would be 10A1 is the selection of the 2021 mayor pro tem. At this time, I'll open the floor for nominations for the mayor pro tem for the year 2021.
I nominate Robert Jones.
We have a nomination for Robert Jones. Is there any other nominations from the floor at this time?
I second.
You second Robert Jones, okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none. All in favor of approving Mr. Jones as the 2021 mayor pro tem, would you please indicate by raising your right hand? Let the record show that Mr. Jones was selected by unanimous vote. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. I did expect.
Thank you. Item 10B is ordinances for the first reading introduction. 10B1 is the first reading of an ordinance amending the FY 2020 operating budget. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, in your packet is the ordinance that adjusts the FY 2020 budget based on actual expenses and revenues.
Questions, council members? This is the first reading of this ordinance, so no action is required by the council tonight. 10C are resolutions for consideration and adoption. 10C1 is a resolution to amend the fee schedule to provide for solid waste price increases. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, in your packet is a resolution that adjusts our solid waste collection fees. This is being recommended to you because our contract with advanced disposal is increasing by 1.2% this year.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. Council members, questions relative to the price increase on solid waste? Hearing none at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that this resolution was approved unanimously. Thank you. 10C2 is a resolution declaring certain vehicles and equipment surplus. Ms. King?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, the resolution before you is to declare 2011 Freightliner, also known as the knuckle boom loader, which is being recommended by Mr. Taylor as well as Ms. Visner due to its poor condition, which many are safety concerns. So we're asking that you approve this as surplus.
Council members, what questions do you have? Hearing none at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve declaring this vehicle surplus. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Thank you, Ms. Peters. Please let the record show that the resolution was approved unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
10D, award of bids. 10D1, public safety facility emergency power upgrade. Mr. Worthington?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, before you is a proposal to upgrade the emergency power system at our public safety facility that houses the headquarters for both our police and fire departments. As you can see from the slide, the current system is inadequate for that facility. It's sort of a hodgepodge system that was never really thoroughly designed and thought out. It consists of two small generators that together will only operate about 5 outlets and some minimal lights on the inside. That system is powered by a 325-gallon liquid propane tank. Proposed upgrades the staff would recommend is that we replace those two smaller generators with one 130 kilowatt generator. A generator of that size is capable of powering the entire facility as if the power were still on. And it has been professionally designed so that we know will work for that facility exactly as we need it to. Along with the generator, we would recommend that we would install a 1,000-gallon liquid propane tank that should operate the facility for 3 to 4 days. Along with that new propane tank would come a contract where the supplier would guarantee a 4-hour response time, so we can always make sure that we can get that propane tank refilled and keep that facility going. Staff would recommend that we purchase this generator from Anderson Power Services, who currently holds the sole source contract with the Houston County Board of Commissioners. The funding for this project would be the 2018 SPLOST fund, and as you can see, the proposed budget in total for this project would be $59,677.34.
Council members, what questions do you have relative to this bid for the power? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid as presented. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record
As I said in the pre-council meeting, these next three bids should sound familiar to you, as they were outlined last night by Bert Murphy, the city engineer. We followed all of our standard procedures in bidding this project out. It would be funded by the Water and Sewer Fund. We received 5 responsive bids ranging from $87,080 to $133,805. It would be staff's recommendation that we award this to the lowest responsive bidder, who was Piles Plumbing and Utility Contractors, in the amount of $87,080.
Questions, council members? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the Hampton Court Water and Sewer extension as presented.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that the bid was approved unanimously. Item 10D3 is bid number 2021-11. This is the Tucker Road culvert replacement. Mr. Worthington?
Thank you again, Mayor. Once again, we followed all of our standard procedures for this bid. We received 6 responsive bids ranging from $91,710 to $205,163.70. It would be staff's recommendation that we would award this to the lowest responsive bidder, who was LeClay Construction, Inc. And that would be in the amount of $91,710, and this would be funded by the 2018 SLOSS fund.
Questions, council members, relative to the Tucker Road culvert replacement? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid as presented. Motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that the bid was approved unanimously. 10D4 is bid number 2021-12. This is the inert waste transfer station phase 1A. Mr. Worthington?
Thank you, sir. Once again, followed all of our standard procedures in bidding this project out. It would be funded by the General Capital Projects Fund. We received 7 responsive bids on this one, ranging from $272,000 even to $650,399.99. It would be staff's recommendation that we would award this to the lowest responsive bidder, who was Sam Paul and Sons Incorporated, in the amount of $272,000.
Thank you. Council members, what questions do you have about this bid on the inert waste transfer station? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid as presented. Motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that the bid was approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 10D5 is a bid that was, or a series of bids that were received for the Creekwood Storm Drainage Project. Are you going to present that?
I can, yes, sir, Mayor. Bid 2021-13 was the CDBG Creekwood Storm Drainage Project. It would be staff's recommendation that we reject all bids that were received and rebid this project. The reasoning behind that is the lowest bid was deemed non-responsive, and the next series of bids that were received were all above the project budget for the city. So it would be our recommendation that we reject all and rebid this project.
Council members, questions relative to the rejection of these bids? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion that we reject all bids that were presented on the Creekwood Storm Drainage Project. So moved. Motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that the bids were rejected unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Worthington.
Thank you, Mayor.
Item 11 are council member items. Ms. Bynum Grace. Mr. Jones.
Mayor, I want to thank my fellow council members for the confidence in me to serve as Mayor Pro Tem for 2021. I recognize that I have a very tough act to follow in current Mayor Pro Tem King, but I will certainly be looking at his example in the next year, and I'm honored to serve. Thank you.
Mr. Hunt. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. I want to thank everyone for allowing me to be Mayor Pro Tem, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Peterson. Nothing? Dr. Albright? Nothing. Thank you. Mr. Gilmore, anything else this evening?
No, sir.
Mr. Smith? No, sir. Mr. Newton, anything for us? Next item is department head. Mr. King? Nothing, sir. Mr. Worthington?
Nothing further.
Mr. Wood?
Nothing further.
Mr. Lynn? Chief?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Ms. Martin?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Mr. Swan?
Nothing.
Ms. Harden?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Since a few of you have asked, I just wanted to provide a couple updates on some projects, being at the calendar year end. So our DDA lot, which is at 902-904 Commerce Street, was purchased last December. And as you all know, we worked very hard to get the pole removed so it could allow for infill development. The buyer was able to submit her architectural and site plans last week that are currently under review at Community Development. This is almost $1 million project that'll have a restaurant space on the bottom and 3 Airbnbs on top. And so we do expect construction to commence early 2021. And as far as I know, this will be the first new infill development in downtown Perry, with the exception of a church facility, but for private business in more than a decade. The second project is the Muse Theater is currently under contract. A private property owner in Perry has an offer on the property, and he wants to turn it into an event space for weddings, live music. So they want to put an addition on the back of the building with a commercial kitchen and a bar, and open it up at least monthly for the community to come, but it will be a private event facility in downtown Perry as well. The DDA is helping to facilitate both projects with state loan programs. They've agreed to participate with Georgia Cities and DDRLF loans. We did close our first one of those DDRLF loans earlier this year. So we're stacking that financing as gap financing, and collectively it's $700,000 that the state is currently underwriting and reviewing both those projects, subject to credit as well as financing availability that the state, because they're running out of funds. So I just wanted to give both of you an update on that so that you're aware of what's happening.
Questions now? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I may just
Yes, sir.
clarify, on the Muse Theater, the addition is not for a full kitchen, but for a warming kitchen.
A caterer's kitchen.
Yeah, catering kitchen, will not be cooking action.
Okay. Great. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you. Item 13 is general public items. Is there anyone here this evening who would like to address council at this time? Thank you. Item 14 are mayor items. First off, I would like to say we will have a formal thank you for you, Mayor Pro Tem Key, in January. We really appreciate you serving for the last 18 months. You've done an outstanding job, and we truly appreciate that. It's been a pleasure for me to work with you during that period of time. Mr. Jones, welcome. I look forward to working with you as well as Mayor Pro Tem. Thanks, Mayor. I think that you'll enjoy that opportunity as well. So we look forward to that. I would also like to wish you, this will be our last meeting for 2020. And in a couple of weeks, I guess it's 10 days now, we'll have Christmas. And I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we would like to encourage you, as we did at Thanksgiving, to be COVID safe. I know it's going to be very difficult. This will be a very difficult time of the year for us not to gather in our normal family traditions, but we need to all be conscious of the risks that are associated with that. And I would ask you to look at that, and let's look forward to a very productive 2021. Our next council meeting will be on January the 4th. It'll be our work session here in this room at 5 o'clock. And on January the 5th, we'll have our normal pre-council and council meeting. All of our meetings are open to the public, and we encourage your interest and participation in those meetings. If there's nothing else to come before us at this time,